Romualdez Yedamari, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Sally, Salvacion, Salvador, Salvame, San Fernando, Santos Maria Alana Samantha, Santos Mark Anthony, Shimura, Singson Richelle, Singson Ronald, Singson Mihan, Solon, Suwan, Suwansing Bella Vanessa, Suwansing Micaela Angela, Suarez, Suntay, Talyado, Tan Ayman, Tan Joseph, Tan Keith Micah, Tan Reynolds Michael, Tan Samir, Tan Stephen James, Tan Shai, Tan Huatco, Tariela, Teodoro, Tereng, Teves, Tiangco, Tieng, Tinio, Tolentino, Tuan, Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, Tupas, Tutor, T, Umali, Ungab, Uy De Carlo, Uy Roberto, Valeriano, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Veloso, Veloso Tuazon, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villafuerte Vincenzo Renato Luigi, Villanueva, Villarica, Violago, Yamsuan, Yap Christopherson, Yap Edvic, Yap Eric, Yap John Gisnel, Yatko, Inares, Yu Jazel Victoria, Yu Joseph Kim, Yulo, Zamora Maria Carmen, Zamora Isabel Maria, Zubiri. Madam Speaker, the roll call shows that 213 members responded to the call.
With 213 members responding to call, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the deferment of the journal of the previous session.
There's a motion to defer the journal from the previous session. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we proceed with the reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of bills and resolution of first reading as well as communication and committee reports.
The Secretary General is directed to read the titles of bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as communications and committee reports for referral to the appropriate committees.
Reference of business. Bills on first reading. House Bill 2779, increasing the entry-level salary grade of public school teachers in basic education from salary grade 11 to salary grade 15, and teaching personnel in public higher education institutions, including technical and vocational schools, from salary grade 12 to salary grade 16, by Representative Roque.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
House Bill 2780, expanding the services of the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation and encouraging private sector participation in agricultural insurance, by Representatives Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villafuerte Vincenzo Renato Luigi, Horibata, and
To
Ridon.
the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 2781, further promoting the entry and growth of strategic investments in the country, by Representatives Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villafuerte Vincenzo Renato Luigi, Horibata, and Ridon.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 2782, to develop a national quality policy defining the Philippine national quality infrastructure thereof, by Representatives Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villafuerte Vincenzo Renato Luigi, Horibata, and Ridon.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 52783, enhancing the National Shelter Program, by Representatives Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villafuerte Vincenzo Renato Luigi, Horibata, and Ridon.
To the Committee on Housing and Urban Development.
House Bill 2784, declaring the province of Camarines Sur as the wakeboarding capital of the Philippines, by Representatives Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villafuerte Vincenzo Renato Luigi, Horibata, and Ridon.
To the Committee on Tourism.
House Bill 2785, separating the Rebocon Agricultural Vocational High School, Bibilic Extension, from the Rebocon Agricultural Vocational High School in Bibilic, Domalinao, Zamboanga del Sur, converting it into the Bibilic National High School, by Representative Yu Jazel Victoria.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 2786, requiring the recognition of healthcare proxies by all health service providers by Representatives Sendanya, Diokno, Ismula, and Bagao.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 2787, converting the municipality of Santa Cruz in province of Davao del Sur into the city of Santa Cruz by Representative Cagas.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 2788, amending the Philippine Identification System Act by Representative Benitez Javier Miguel.
to the Committee on Population and Family Relations,
House Bill 2789, expanding the 4Ps by Representative Benitez Javier Miguel.
to the Committee on Poverty Alleviation,
House Bill 2790, establishing the Kabataang Magsasaka Scholarship Act by Representative Benitez Javier Miguel.
to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 2791, providing medical parole for elderly persons deprived of liberty who are suffering from terminal or severe medical conditions by Representative Benitez Javier Miguel.
to the Committee on Justice,
House Bill 2792, exempting incentives, rewards, bonuses, and other forms of emoluments received by national athletes and coaches from taxes by Representative Benitez Javier Miguel.
to the Committee on Ways and Means,
House Bill 2793, defining and penalizing espionage and other similar offenses against national security by Representative Benitez Javier Miguel.
to the Committee on Revision of Laws,
House Bill 2794, institutionalizing the participation of civil society organizations in the preparation and authorization process of the annual national budget by Representative Benitez Javier Miguel.
to the Committee on Appropriations,
House Bill 2795, simplifying the documentary requirements for accessing government financial assistance by Representative Benitez Javier Miguel.
to the Committee on Social Services,
House Bill 2796, renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to the Association of Islamic Development Service Cooperative by Representatives Yu Joseph Kim and Yu Jazel Victoria.
to the Committee on Legislative Franchises,
House Bill 2797, providing for the social pensions of PWDs by Representative Santos Mark Anthony.
to the Special Committee on Persons with Disabilities,
House Bill 2798, strengthening the political party system by Representative Macapagal Arroyo.
to the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms,
House Bill 2799, further amending the contractors licensing law by Representative Momo.
to the Committee on Trade and Industry,
House Bill 2800, providing for a Magna Carta for workers in the construction industry by Representative Momo.
to the Committee on Labor and Employment,
House Bill 2801, upgrading the basic salary of public school teachers from salary grade 11 to salary grade 15 by Representative Aumentado.
to the Committee on Appropriations,
House Bill 2802, establishing the National Measurement Institute of the Philippines by Representative Aumentado.
to the Committee on Science and Technology,
House Bill 2803, to establish the Magna Carta for Barangays by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 2804, reducing the cost of electricity for national government offices by promoting the development and utilization of solar energy in all government buildings and offices by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Energy,
House Bill 2805, instituting a comprehensive national care plan to encourage cooperation, accountability, and research for the education and support of persons with autism by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 2806, creating the position of barangay nutrition worker in every barangay by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 2807, establishing a framework for blue economy by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Economic Affairs,
House Bill 2808, strengthening the governance and management of the Philippine Science High School System by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Science and Technology,
House Bill 2809, providing financial literacy and entrepreneurship programs for workers by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Labor and Employment,
House Bill 2810, mandating government officials and employees to execute and submit a written permission to examine, inquire, or look into all other deposits and investments, waiving the bank secrecy law by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries,
House Bill 2811, criminalizing negligence on government projects whose quality of work is below prescribed standards by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Justice,
House Bill 2812, providing an additional ground for canceling the COC of a candidate and making the acts of a nuisance candidate an election offense by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms,
House Bill 2813, dividing Barangay Adams in Adams, Ilocos Norte into 3 distinct and independent barangays to be known as Barangay Adan, Barangay Bucarot, and Barangay Malasin by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 2814, establishing the Open University of the Mariano Marcos Memorial State University in Ilocos Norte by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 2815, declaring and designating Metropolitan Ilocos Norte Watershed Forest Reserve situated within Pasukin, Ilocos Norte as a protected area under the category of protected landscape by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Natural Resources,
House Bill 2816, rectifying the composition and technical descriptions of Barangays Calao, Cabaritan, and Quibel in the Dumalneg, Ilocos Norte, and their adjoining LGUs by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 2817, establishing satellite specialty hospitals in Northern Luzon to provide access to specialized medical care by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 2818, declaring and designating Tanap Watershed Forest Reserve situated within Burgos, Ilocos Norte as a protective area under the category of protected landscape by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Natural Resources,
House Bill 2819, establishing the Bacara Ilocos Norte TESDA Training and Assessment Center in Bacara, Ilocos Norte by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Iron Technical Education,
House Bill 2820, declaring September 11 of every year a special non-working holiday in the province of Ilocos Norte in commemoration of the birth anniversary of former President Ferdinand Edralin Marcos, to be known as President Ferdinand Edralin Marcos Day by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 2821, creating the Health Emergency Auxiliary Reinforcement Team under the DOH by Representative Marcos.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 2822, upgrading the minimum salary grade level of teachers from salary grade 11 to 18 by Representative Montes.
to the Committee on Appropriations,
House Bill 2823, ensuring that senior high school graduates under the K-12 program are equipped with the knowledge, training, and skills demanded in the labor market by Representative Montes.
to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture and the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 2824, establishing a voucher system for poor and academically qualified students of private higher education institutions and private technical vocational institutions by Representative Montes.
to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 2825, promoting menstrual health and hygiene by Representative Montes.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 2826, authorizing the protection of critical information infrastructure against cybersecurity threats and incidents by Representative Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villafuerte Vincenzo, Renato Luigi, Horibata, and Ridon.
to the Committee on Information Communications Technology,
House Bill 2827, establishing a regulatory framework for a robust, reliable, and trustworthy development, application, and use of AI systems by Representatives Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villafuerte Vincenzo, Renato Luigi, Horibata, and Ridon.
to the Committee on Information and Communications Technology,
House Bill 2828, promoting gender equality and upholding the sanctity of marriage by Representatives Tulfo, Ralph Wendell, and Tulfo Jocelyn.
to the Committee on Revision of Laws,
House Bill 2829, establishing a digitalized OFW welfare and monitoring system by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Rap Edvic.
to the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs,
House Bill 2830, expanding health benefits and wellness programs for senior citizens by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Yap Edvic.
to the Committee on Senior Citizens,
House Bill 2831, providing for free tertiary agricultural education and other related courses to the dependent children of qualified indigent farmers by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Yap Edvic.
to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 2832, providing for a free financial education to OFWs and their families by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Yap Edvic.
to the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs,
House Bill 2833, strengthening the protection of OFWs and their dependents against fraudulent practices by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Yap Edvic.
to the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs,
House Bill 2834, instituting a comprehensive national care and support plan for children with special needs by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Yap Edvic.
to the Committee on Welfare of Children,
House Bill 2835, removing the exemption from criminal liability of relatives for crimes of theft, swindling, and malicious mischief by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Yap Edvic.
to the Committee on Revision of Laws,
House Bill 2836, promoting inclusive and sustainable rural development and livelihood enhancement in the Philippines by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Yap Edvic.
to the Committee on Rural Development,
House Bill 2837, institutionalizing a national medicine system in the Philippines by Representatives Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendell, and Yap Edvic.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 2838, institutionalizing the career progression system for public school teachers by Representative Uwano Dizon.
to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture and the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation,
House Bill 2839, institutionalizing the transition of the government to e-governance in the digital age, creating the Philippine Infrastructure Management Corporation by Representative Uwano Dizon.
To the Committee on Information Communications Technology.
House Bill 2840, providing for the Magna Carta of Barangay Health Workers by Representative Owano Dizon.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 2841, instituting the Medical Reserve Corps by Representative Owano Dizon.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 2842, establishing the Virology and Vaccine Institute of the Philippines by Representative Owano Dizon.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 2843, converting the Agusan del Norte Provincial Hospital in Butuan City, Agusan del Norte into the Agusan del Norte General Hospital and Training Center by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 2844, creating the Department of Disaster Resilience by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Disaster Resilience and the Committee on Government Reorganization.
House Bill 2845, enhancing the discount on the purchase of goods and services for senior citizens and PWDs by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Ways and Means, the Committee on Senior Citizens, and the Special Committee on Persons with Disabilities.
House Bill 2846, rationalizing the benefits and privileges of senior citizens and PWDs by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Ways and Means, the Committee on Senior Citizens, and the Special Committee on Persons with Disabilities.
House Bill 2847, to include area of municipal waters as an additional factor in determining the share of each LGU in the national tax allotment by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 2848, institutionalizing the assistance to individuals in crisis situations program of the DSWD by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Social Services.
House Bill 2849, creating the Lake Mainit Development Authority by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization.
House Bill 2850, providing monthly support to senior citizens of prescribed maintenance medicines, food supplements, and vitamins by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Senior Citizens.
House Bill 2851, protecting senior citizens from violence and abuse, to be known as Senior Citizen Protection Act by Representative Corvera.
To the Committee on Senior Citizens.
House Bill 2852, integrating a grassroots financial and economic literacy program as an additional criterion in the determination of granting a seal of good local governance by Representative Alba.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 2853, providing further opportunities for senior citizens as employees in private entities by granting increased incentives to private entities that employ senior citizens by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Senior Citizens.
House Bill 2854, mandating the DOH to ensure the availability of medicines and procurement of medical equipment in all public hospitals through the utilization of the Medical Assistance to Indigent and Financially Incapacitated Patients Fund by Representative Yap
To
Edric.
the Committee on Health.
House Bill 2855, providing for a 200 peso daily wage increase for minimum wage workers in the private sector by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill 2856, providing protection and incentives for freelance workers by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill 2857, regulating the operation of motorcycles for hire by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 2858, instituting a national land use policy by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Special Committee on Land Use.
House Bill 2859, establishing the National Framework for Water Resource Management and creating the Department of Water Resources and the Water Regulatory Commission by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways and the Committee on Government Reorganization.
House Bill 2860, providing for protection of the remittances of overseas Filipino workers by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs.
House Bill 2861, providing compassionate and right of access to medical cannabis, expanding research into its medicinal properties by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Dangerous Drugs and the Committee on Health.
House Bill 2862, establishing the Private Basic Education Voucher Program, providing for the creation of the Bureau of Private Education by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 2863, upgrading the district office of the LTO in Iriga City, Camarines Sur from a Class D to a Class B district office by Representative Villafuerte Miguel Luis.
To the Committee on Transportation.
Resolutions. House Resolution 107, urging the Committee on Climate Change, the Committee on Disaster Resilience, and the Committee on Ecology to conduct a joint inquiry into the review of all existing flood control projects along Laguna de Bay and the feasibility of implementing nature-based and sustainable solutions by Representative Hernandez Chariz Ann.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 108, directing the Committee on Energy to conduct an inquiry on the operational failures of the Albay Electric Cooperative, Inc., which have resulted in frequent power outages and have adversely affected the Albayanons in the province of Albay, by Representative Loria.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 109, directing the Committee on Public Works and Highways to conduct an investigation into the collapse of the Cabagan Santa Maria Bridge in Isabela, by Representatives Albano, Co Antonio, Co Wilton, T and D Faustino.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Joint Resolution 3, terminating the delegated authority of the President to adjust tariff rates on rice and reverting tariffs to previous level by Representatives Bagao, Ismula, Diokno, Sendanya, Lagman, De Lima, and San Fernando.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
Communication. Report dated July 3, 2025 of the Honorable House Secretary General on enrolled copies of Senate Bill number 2252 and House Bill number 7479, which were returned to the Senate on even date and to be transmitted to the Office of the President for His Excellency's consideration and signature, pursuant to Section 18H, Rule 6 of the Rules of the House.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may we acknowledge the guests of the Deputy Majority Leader, Jose Bong J. Teves Jr., who's celebrating his birthday today, from Tao Gama Phi, all our local government officials from Camarines Sur and Camarines Norte, Mayor Jojo Francisco of Labo, Camarines Norte, Mayor Edward Prades of Tinambak, Camarines Sur, Mayor Edelson Marfil of Libmanan, Camarines Sur, Councilor Ray Kenneth Oning of Labo, Camarines Sur, Mr. Albert Queng, and Mr. Noriel Millares.
To the guests of the Honorable Jose Bong J. Teves Jr., our Deputy Majority Leader, the fraternal brothers of our Deputy Majority Leader, Jose Bong Teves, Tau Gama P. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may we also acknowledge the guests of the Honorable Brian Yamsuan of the 2nd District of Parañaque, Parañaque City District 2, Barangay BF Homes. He has a list of 30 guests. May I proceed to read the names of the guests? Thank you, Madam Speaker. Barangay Captain Jeremy J. Marquez, Barangay Kagawad Cheryl Gonzalez, Barangay Kagawad Mariel Tumang, Barangay Kagawad Shelo Lazatin, Barangay Kagawad Cesar Robles, Barangay Kagawad Jonathan Espino, Barangay Kagawad Ray Casanova, Barangay Kagawad Paulo Marquez, Barangay Secretary Noel Azarcon, Barangay Treasurer Robbie Montilla, SK Chairman Julia Barameda, SK Kagawad Kayla Pletchetero, Barangay SK Kagawad Russell Acoba, SK Kagawad Gia Joyce Fortes, SK Kagawad Elia Caballes, SK Kagawad Laika Gabriel, SK Kagawad Samantha Samuok, SK Secretary Leo Alegre, SK Treasurer Rose Ann Chu, Antonio de la Cruz Jr., Victor C. Barros Jr., Jimwell Stevens, Rochelle Barameda, Jonette Abad, E.J. Sombilla, Lea Garcia, Aloysius Gonzalez, Brian Ompok, Kirby Anyake, and Graciel Elorde.
To the guests of the Honorable Brian Yamsuan, our 2nd District City of Parañaque representative, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, with leave of the House, I move that we open the privilege hour.
There's a motion. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I now move that the gentleman from Cagayan de Oro, the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez, be recognized to avail of the privilege hour.
The Honorable Rufus Rodriguez is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Majority Leader, my distinguished colleagues. I rise today on a matter of utmost national importance. As representative of the 2nd District of Cagayan de Oro, the city of Golden Friendship, I cannot remain silent as our families, our very foundation, are being torn apart by a digital plague, online gambling. Mr. Speaker, the numbers and stories paint a disturbing reality. Gambling, once confined to casinos and cockpits, now hides in our smartphones, accessible 24/7, often with no age restrictions and just a click away from financial ruin. Today, Madam Speaker, any person, even a minor, can register on a gambling app, fund it through an e-wallet, and lose everything within minutes. In fact, according to a 2025 study by the Digital Risk Observatory, an estimated 34 million Filipinos, 34 million Filipinos, roughly 1 in 3 adults have participated in online gambling. 64% of surveyed users admitted to being online, with many of them doing so daily. Around 30% of users are between the ages of 15 and 24, and many of them started playing before the age of 18. Our laws and our digital systems are failing to protect them. What's more alarming, Madam Speaker, is how these platforms are promoted. We see celebrities, influencers, even beauty queens endorsing apps like Bingo Plus, Arena Plus, Oki Bet, and Stake.com, enticing millions of Filipinos with promises of instant riches. As of this year, over 15 million top Filipino celebrities are directly or indirectly promoting gambling platforms, from Ivana Alawi to Vice Ganda to Alden Richards. These endorsements, Madam Speaker, are often packaged as lifestyle content, making gambling appear harmless and as aspirational. But behind the flashy promotions lie broken homes, exhausted savings, and shattered futures. A jeepney driver lost his entire day's earnings to an online slot game on his phone during trips. Madam Speaker, in Cagayan de Oro's adjacent municipality, a resident addicted to gambling committed suicide just 3 weeks ago. Another heartbreaking case comes from my very own city, Cagayan de Oro. A husband, enraged by her wife, always demanding that he stop gambling on an online game called Scatter. Scatter, Madam Speaker, in Cagayan de Oro, violently attacked her wife. This is not fiction. These are reported on online radio, TV, and is a chilling reminder that gambling is not a private vice, it has public consequences. And the platforms are everywhere, through mirror links, Telegram groups, Facebook ads, and even disguised arcade apps. Gambling has become omnipresent and ubiquitous. Apps like Tong Eats Go, Color Game, and Piso Games are downloaded in seconds and often require no age verification at all. A child only needs a mobile number and GCash account to start betting. Yes, Madam Speaker, we acknowledge that the online gambling industry contributes to our economy. According to PAGCOR, regulated e-gambling brought 200 billion in 2024 and 33.7 billion in taxes from DigiPlus alone. There are about 40,000 Filipinos employed in the industry. But I ask again, at what cost? Can we truly put a price tag on broken families, or mental health cases, on domestic abuse, on youth addiction? A financial gain for the few must not justify suffering for the many. Gambling is not a sustainable driver of development. It is a trap for the poor and a poison to our culture. Walang katumbas na pera ang buhay ng isang tao o ang saya ng isang pamilya. Huwag na nating dagdagan pa yung mga nawawalang sabongero. Sa mga bilyonaryong kumikita ng online gambling, tama na. Mahiya din kayo. Let us not forget that the Department of Health has declared online gambling as a gambling addiction as a public mental health concern. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines has sounded the alarm, calling it a moral and social emergency. While financial platforms like GCash have begun restricting gambling-related ads, regulation remains weak, enforcement is inconsistent, and the platforms multiply by the day. Madam Speaker, I strongly urge this August chamber to act with courage and resolve. Let us ban, I repeat, a total ban on all forms of online gambling. Let us prohibit e-wallets like GCash, Maya, Shopee Pay from enabling gambling transactions. Let us penalize operators, financial intermediaries, and endorsers. Let us penalize them. Let us empower DICT, NTC, PAGCOR, and law enforcement agencies with the legal tools to shut down access to this online gambling and file charges to punish violators. But we must go further. I call on the government to launch a nationwide campaign for public awareness and recovery, to fund support groups, and to educate our people about the dangers of online gambling. Let us protect our children, our own children, from a future dictated by addiction. Let us safeguard our workers from a habit that destroys livelihoods. Let us defend the Filipino family from digital vice distinguished as entertainment. Madam Speaker, in the past, this chamber had the courage to end Pogo. This chamber had the courage to stop e-sabong. Today, we therefore must take an even bolder step. Let us lead by example. Let us put an end to the silent epidemic of online gambling. Madam Speaker, let us remember, governance is not about choosing between what is easy and what is right. We must act decisively for the poor families in the barangays, for the children lured by flashy apps, for the victims of digital vice. We owe it to them to unequivocally, absolutely, and completely ban all forms of online gambling now. Daghang salamat, Madam Speaker. Thank you, my distinguished colleagues.
Majority Leader. Yes, Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to recognize the Honorable Representative Romulo.
The Honorable Representative Romulo is recognized.
Madam Speaker, will the gentleman from Cagayan de Oro be open to a few clarificatory questions?
To of course, our distinguished chairman of the Committee on Basic Education, the debonair Congressman, Roman Romulo. I am very much willing to answer your questions.
You may proceed, Honorable Roman Romulo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The gentleman from Cagayan de Oro, I was listening to your privileged speech on online gambling. And last night, I chanced upon a news report about Cardinal or Bishop David
Yes, Bishop.
talking about gambling, the Cara Cruz issue, wherein an altar boy passed away. And do you know, Madam Speaker, honorable gentlemen, the reason why the altar boy passed away was because one day during the habagat, he was looking for his father, and he could not find his father anywhere. So they were searching. He was wading through the flooded streets of the place where he resides until he realized, someone told him that his father was actually in the police prison. And the reason for that was that he was arrested for playing Cara Cruz
Under PD, on gambling.
under PD 1602.
That's correct, an old presidential decree.
So don't you find it ironic, Madam Speaker, gentlemen from Cagayan de Oro, that we are talking here about online gambling, whether it is legitimate or not, but then we have simple people, simple Filipinos who we arrest for playing Cara Cruz. And then it's become so difficult for their family to even come up with the bail money to pay in order for the father to be able to release. Eventually, he passed away because of leptospirosis. So do you think it is so ironic that here we are discussing online gambling, whether it should be allowed or not, and then yung masa, yung simpleng tao, we penalize them. We don't even consider what they are going through.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I agree with the distinguished colleague that what happened to the father of the young boy who died because he had leptospirosis is the summit of all ironies. Because here we have a PD decree 60613 and it penalizes Cara Cruz on the streets. And yet now we allow everyone to take his cell phone, and everybody almost in the Philippines has cell phones or two, to just one click away bet. And so therefore, that is another issue, and we should repeal that decree that, this small, according, the Supreme Court already ruled in one of the cases that these kinds of gambling is anti-poor and should not be allowed the arrest and the penalty.
But
so I
Madam-
agree with the distinguished colleague
Yes.
on that prime example of what our old laws contain.
Madam Speaker, gentlemen from Cagayan de Oro, the recent Supreme Court ruling, in fact, did not ban or repeal it because they could not do that. But what the justice, the ponente, did was he made it very clear that there are stringent conditions to be followed by an arresting officer before you can actually arrest under PD 1602. Hopefully, Honorable Rodriguez, when you file this bill, when this is heard in the committee, appropriate committee, you can also take a look, not necessarily in repealing 1602, but there are adverse effects which could be corrected, which should be corrected because it is anti-poor. And I will join you, Honorable Rodriguez, during these hearings. Honorable Rodriguez, Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the time given to me.
Thank you very much, distinguished colleague. Madam Speaker, indeed, tomorrow I'm going to file the bill on against online gambling total ban. I did not file it because under the rules, we cannot have a privileged speech if the congressman has already filed a bill on the same subject matter. That is in the rules. So I have not filed, and I'm going to file tomorrow this total ban. And I hope Congressman Romulo, Chairman, will be co-author, and we will take a look at these anti-poor provisions when we allow everything, all kinds of gambling, but then the Cara Cruz, which resulted in the death of the boy, it's still a crime, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, distinguished colleague.
Thank you. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize Senior Deputy Majority Leader Lawrence Defensor.
To recognize Senior Deputy Majority Lawrence Defensor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Certainly to the distinguished Senior Majority Leader, who was the Senior Vice Chairman of the Committee on Constitutional Amendments in the 19th Congress.
Yes, the Senior Deputy Majority Leader, please proceed.
Thank you to the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez for raising that issue on online gambling. Our entire country should be aware of the ill effects of illegal gambling, not only online, but illegal gambling per se. Madam Speaker, I have a daughter who's 7 years old now, and I can barely keep her hands off my cell phone. More so, my teenage son, who already has access not only to social media, but to other online games through a simple cellular phone. Madam Speaker, may I know from the gentleman if from other countries or jurisdictions there have already been regulation and bans not only on gambling, but simply social media bans to protect its citizens, especially the youth.
There have been some countries only regulating online gambling. There has been no country that has banned online gambling, total ban, not regulation, because now it seems that there is a choice of us policymakers, ban or regulate. I maintain that just regulation will not be enough to be able to stop this pernicious, addictive online gambling. So that is the situation our distinguished Senior Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the cause of the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez is very honorable. May I know if he has data or statistics to support this ban on online gaming to further strengthen his position and the bill that he will file eventually?
We have here what has been researched by Digital Risk Observatory. It says that of the 116 million, as of December 2025, the Philippines has a population of 116 million. And 28 million of those are in the island paradise of Mindanao. Because Abante Mindanao, my brother is here, trying to be able to bring out what is good for Mindanao. And so it's according to Digital Risk Observatory 2025 study, current this year, estimated 34 million or 1/3 already of our Filipinos are into online gambling. So roughly 1 in 3 adults have participated in online gambling, meaning adults 18 years old and above. But then the problem is 7, 8-year-old up to 18, they already bet because it's just a click away. And most of our 7 years old, even younger than that, have cell phones already. And so continuing with these statistics and this particular finding, 64% surveyed users, so 64% of the 34 million Filipinos admitted to betting online, many of them doing so daily. That is the problem. Daily in their cell phone, having online betting. And around 30% of users, distinguished majority, Senior Majority Leader, are between, here is the figure, 30% of the users are between ages to 15 to 24. it has excluded even those less than 15. So 15 to 24-year-old young people are already users of online gambling. And they started playing even before reaching the age of 15, you see. So therefore, statistics would show that clearly this is a silent epidemic which is plaguing our country today.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with the Honorable Rodriguez, especially that access to online gaming is as simple as clicking your cell phone without any verification or any security to protect the young from engaging in online gambling. Now, based on reports and based on data that I have seen from news agencies, there are at least 40,000 Filipinos involved in online gambling as a way of work, as a way of profession. And these people have gainful income as operators of online gambling. May I know from the Honorable Rodriguez, what would be his suggestion to give livelihood, to give jobs and employments to innocent people that will be affected by a total ban of online gaming, so that we will not deprive them of their livelihood and their gains that they will use for their families?
Mr. Speaker, in the same vein as what the Department of Labor has done to the displaced workers of Pogo, because we banned Pogo, there is a program by the DOLE to reintegrate and to give a chance to work and opportunities for those that will be displaced when this becomes illegal. You are right, Senior Majority Leader, that 40,000 under the survey, 40,000 are now engaged in these particular platforms. And so therefore, we will ask the proper agency, and that is the DOLE, to prepare already. Once we have this bill passed and would become law with the Senate and to be signed by the President, then there has to be a program by the Department of Labor and Employment to be able to, again, give them jobs through training and proper orientation.
Mr. Speaker, I will fully support this bill by the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez. In fact, I will be active in his committee hearings, not only to protect Filipinos from the ill effects of online gambling, but also to ensure that the livelihoods of affected Filipinos will be addressed and protected. Mr. Speaker, let me manifest my intention to be the first co-author once the Honorable Rodriguez has filed this bill, and he has my full support in the committee once this bill is deliberated. Thank you so much, Mr.
We thank the Honorable Majority Leader, that the Senior Majority Leader, for his signification of support, together with our Chairman of the Committee on Basic Education. They will be the first co-authors of this bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Defensor, Honorable Rodriguez. Majority Leader. Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Rodriguez and its interpellations to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The speech of Honorable Rufus Rodriguez and its interpellation is referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we terminate the privilege hour.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The privilege hour is closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, move that we recognize the following guests of Representative Bambi Emano, Mayor Marian Chan, former Municipal Mayor Donato Chan, Vice Mayor Paulo Magallanes, Municipal Councilor Amy Key Miyamura, Councilor Esmael Nagib Jr., Councilor Arnold Hagape Amper, Councilor Philip Tarungoy, Councilor Jelisa Mandak Pelaez, SK Federation President Gilbert Aguiman Jr., ABC President Rolando B. Ucat, Barangay Captain Senon Gamulo, Barangay Captain Alan Ignalig, Barangay Captain Elias Unabia Jr., Barangay Captain Irvin Baldivino, Barangay Captain Lolita Ecuacion, Barangay Captain Ansgar Nalasa, Barangay Captain Ricardo Alinabon Jr., Barangay Captain Ronald Antiola, Barangay Captain Asuncion Amper, Barangay Captain Tarsito Bayhon, Barangay Captain Cherry Rebuta, Barangay Captain Christina Balingit, Barangay Captain Junard Tunbay, Barangay Captain Fermin Makidato, Barangay Captain Salmero Bada, Barangay Captain Nicasio Abao, Barangay Captain Emmanuel Felix Pupos, Municipal Administrator Proceso Ada, Mr. Frederick Dokdok, Mrs. Glory Lee Vosotros, Mrs. Joan Balange, Mrs. Elaine Vertudaso, Mrs. Jennifer Danga, Mrs. Vilma Rombo, Mr. Eden Mark Vosotros, Dr. Erlene Grace Boter, Mrs. Olivia Siao, Mrs. Evelyn A. Porol, Mrs. Fedelina Ada, Mrs. Amy Flor Balingit, Mrs. Julieta Wapanyo, Mr. John Christopher Cruz, Mrs. Grisel May Odchige, Mrs. Divya May Ernak, Mrs. Trislier Lim, Miss Hermie Nabwa, Mr. Ariel Anghay, Mrs. Trinidad Siao, Mr. Rafael Eleazar Lago, Mrs. Archel Pajaron, and Mr. Diomedes Barcelona.
To the guests of Honorable Bambi Imano of the 2nd District of Misamis Oriental, the officials from the Municipality of Medina, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we acknowledge the guests of Honorable Rep. Arnan Panaligan, 1st District Congressman of the Province of Oriental Mindoro. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to recognize Mayor Robin Hood Iligan, Vice Mayor Rocky Ilagan, Councilor Harold Marquez, Councilor Divine Delgado, Councilor Edith Armamento, Councilor Rodel Lopez, Councilor Danny Enriquez, Councilor Teddy Florida, Sangguniang Kabataan President Clyde Bunkin, Liga ng mga Barangay President Melchor Halak. Mr. Speaker.
To the guests of Honorable Arnan Panaligan, of the 1st District of the Province of Oriental Mindoro, to the officials from the officials of the Municipality of Puerto Galera, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we acknowledge the guests of Honorable Reynaldo Cuyare P. Salvacion, the representative from the Lone District of Marinduque. They are from the municipality of Boac, Marinduque, Mayor Army Carrion, Vice Mayor Mark Anthony Senyo, Councilor Mark Angelo Hinang, Councilor Nick Andrew Solomon, Councilor Luisito Laylay, Councilor Hilmer Manguera, Councilor Justin Angelo Manrique, Councilor Francis Jacinto, Councilor Wilson Mabute, Councilor Rafael Mascareñas, Councilor John Mark Hayag, SB Secretary Zidric Rafael Salazar, Aylan de la Cruz Leano, Michelle Leano, Janine Laborete Ginang, Edelita Malabute, and Alvin Halak.
To the guests of Honorable Reynaldo Salvacion from the Municipality of Buac, headed by Mayor Army Carrion, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration of House Resolution 94, copies of which were already distributed to the members pursuant to the rules of the House. May I request the Secretary General to read the title of the House resolution?
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Resolution number 94.
House Resolution 94, Resolution institutionalizing the active participation of bona fide people's organizations as official non-voting observers in the public hearings of the Committee on Appropriations on the National Budget and all subsequent general appropriations.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of House Resolution 94.
there is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 94. All those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 94 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration of House Resolution 106, copies of which were already distributed to the members of the House pursuant to the rules. May I request the Secretary General to read the title of the House resolution?
is there any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is approved. The Secretary General is directed to read House Resolution number 106.
House Resolution 106, Resolution authorizing the Committees on Human Rights, Public Order and Safety, Dangerous Drugs, and Public Accounts to conduct a joint inquiry in aid of legislation to address emerging and unresolved issues brought forth by the joint investigation of the previous Quad Committee during the 19th Congress.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of House Resolution 106.
there is a motion to approve to adopt House Resolution number 106. All those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 106 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session for a few minutes.
session suspended. Session resumed.
Mr. Speaker, on the part of the
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, on the part of the majority, I move to nominate and elect to the Commission on Appointments as member Ramon N. Guico Jr. as head of the House contingent, Jose Joboy S. Aquino II, Antonio Tony Petti Albano, Lani Mercado Revilla, Judin Jesus M. Romualdo, Benjamin C. Agarao Jr., and Alfredo A. Garbin Jr. To the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal as head, Representative Isabel Maria J. Zamora. As members, Munir M. Arbison, Linabel Ruth R. Villarica. I so move.
there is a motion to elect the aforementioned members to the Commission on Appointment and the HRET. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Majority Leader,
Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, on the part of the majority, I move to nominate the following members to the various committees. To the Committee on Disaster Resilience as chairperson, Joseph Jojo L. Lara. To the Committee on Ecology as chairperson, Maria Vanessa Van Vancy Aumentado. To the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization as chairperson, Eric L. Olivares. To the Committee on Government Reorganization as chairperson, Salvador A. Plato. To the Committee on Health as chairperson, Siriaco B. Gato Jr. To the Committee on Muslim Affairs as chairperson, Bay Dimple I. Mastura. To the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs as chairperson, Brian B. Revilla. To the Committee on Population and Family Relations as chairperson, Roger G. Mercado. To the Committee on Poverty Alleviation as chairperson, Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. To the Committee on Sustainable Development Goals as chairperson, Jose Manuel Alba. To the Committee on Visayas Development as chairperson, Lolita T. Javier. To the Committee on Women and Gender Equality as chairperson, Rene Ann Lourdes G. Matibag. To the Special Committee on Bicol Affairs and Economic Development as chairperson, Eulogio Leo R. Rodriguez. To the Special Committee on Land Use as chairperson, Francisco T. Matugas. To the Special Committee on Southern Tagalog Development as chairperson, Ramil Laurel Hernandez. To the Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity as chairperson, Samir A. Tan. So move.
There's a motion to elect the aforementioned chairpersons and members to the aforementioned committees. Is there any objection? Chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, furthermore, on the part of the majority, I move to nominate and elect to the Committee on Agrarian Reform as Vice Chairperson, Rosalie Ang Salvame. To the Committee on Agriculture and Food as Vice Chairpersons, Noel Bong and Rivera Emanuel. EY Evgeny Vicente Emano. To the Committee on Agriculture and Fisheries Resources as Senior Vice Chairperson, Isidro D. Lumayag. As Vice Chairperson, Brian B. Revilla, Manuel Manmanco. To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture as Vice Chairperson, Leandro Legarda Leviste. To the Committee on Cooperatives Development as Vice Chairperson, Isidro D. Lumayag. To the Committee on Energy as Vice Chairperson, Edwin Onchuan, Julio Cesar J. Vergara. To the Committee on Games and Amusements as Vice Chairperson, Junard Ahong Q. Chan. To the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability as Vice Chairperson, Alexander T. Pimentel. To the Committee on Health as Senior Vice Chairperson, Yeda Marie K. Romualdez. As Vice Chairperson, Julius Cesar J. Vergara. To the Committee on Higher and Technical Education as Vice Chairpersons, Eulogio Leo R. Rodriguez, Ustad Yusuf T. Alano. To the Committee on Housing and Urban Development as Vice Chairperson, Ralph Wendell P. Tulfo. To the Committee on Indigenous Cultural Communities and Indigenous Peoples as Vice Chairperson, Caroline B. Agyao. To the Committee on Muslim Affairs as Senior Vice Chairperson, Ustad Yusuf T. Alano. To the Committee on National Defense and Security as Vice Chairperson, Esmael G. Mangundadatu. To the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs as Vice Chairperson, Marie K. Romualdez. To the Committee on Public Order and Safety as Vice Chairperson, Esmael G. Mangundadatu. To the Committee on Social Services as Vice Chairperson, Caroline B. Agyao. To the Committee on Tourism as Vice Chairperson, Junard Ahong Q. Chan. To the Committee on Trade and Industry as Vice Chairperson, Jose Manuel J. M. Florendo Lagdameo. To the Committee on Transportation as Vice Chairperson, Carmelo G. Lasatin Jr. To the Committee on Ways and Means as Vice Chairperson, Ferdinand L. Hernandez, Maria Cristina C. Angeles. To the Committee on Welfare of Children as Vice Chairperson, Yeda Marie K. Romualdez. To the Special Committee on East ASEAN Growth Area as Vice Chairperson, Katrina Reiko Chua Tai. To the Special Committee on Food Security as Vice Chairperson, Jose Manuel J.M. Florendo Lagdameo. To the Special Committee on Land Use as Vice Chairperson, Leody ODF Tariela. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to elect the aforementioned vice chairpersons to the different committees. Is there any objection? Chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session.
Session is suspended. Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we recognize the guests of the Honorable Speaker Martin Romualdez and the Honorable Yeda Marie K. Romualdez. They are the following. First, we have LGU officials of the Municipality of Compostela, Cebu, Mayor Felidjur Jury Quino, Councilor Joshua Quino, Councilor Richard Acaso, Councilor Cheryl Sereno, Hans Kevin Pitogo, and we have the department heads of Compostela, Joel Durante, Almira Villarrojo, Irene Santilan, Joji Ann O. Watin, Arlene Lucero, and of course we have barangay captains Jane Quino, Jeneline Villarmea, Remedios Tubala, Nelia Kabatingan, Joseph Vasquez, Haji Noya, Marvelo Amodia, Lelami Talingting, Alex Castro, and Ruby Villaseran. Mr. Speaker.
To the guests of Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez and Honorable Yeda Marie Romualdez, the municipal officials and barangay captains of the Compostela, Cebu, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, on the part of the majority, I move to nominate and elect to the Committee on Appropriations as Vice Chairpersons Puntabella, Arnie B., Angara, Romel Rico T., Singson, Ronald V., Bondoc, Ana York P. Garcia, Maria Angela S., Tan, Keith, Mike, Hernandez, Ferdinand L., Swansing, Bella Vanessa B., Nava, Joaquin Carlos Raman, Lagdameo, Monique Yasmin Maria Q., Ong Chuan, Edwin Marino C. I so moves, Mr. Speaker.
There's a motion to elect the Vice Chairpersons of the Committee on Appropriation. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no business left for the day, I move to adjourn session until tomorrow, the 6th of August, 3 p.m. I so move.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The session is adjourned until tomorrow, August 6 at 3 in the afternoon.